Gary, how we doing? You all good?
All good, pal. Yourself?
All good, no complaints, no complaints. How's life been at Hearts recently?
Well, it's certainly picked up. The recent performances have been really good under Neil. We were a wee bit unlucky, I thought, on Sunday. I thought we definitely deserved to take something at the game. But you can definitely see that, the boys are buying into everything that Neil wants them to do. And, I think things are positive. I think we've had a hard run of games, so we've got a wee chance of getting a wee break. And obviously the management team will be able to work with the players on the training pitch, and hopefully we can see the fruits of that against Celtic in 2 weeks' time.
Aye. I think one of the big indicators that things are on a more positive keel now is that the reaction to the Heidenheim defeat. They basically applauded after the pitch. You know
Yeah.
what it's like playing at Tynecastle, getting beat 2-0. You get actual around the applause and basically cheered off the park because of the
Yeah.
performance was bang on, just didn't take our chances.
Aye, 100%. I think it was probably the same on Sunday. And we didn't want to lose games, there's no doubt about that. But when you've been involved in football a long time, you're going to get beat at some point. But there's a way to get beat. And,
Yeah.
the way we're playing at the moment, is on the front foot. It's attacking, everything probably everybody wants to see. So really encouraging signs. And as I say, the manager's not had the chance yet to really work on the training ground with the players, because it's just been constant, like playing, recovery, preparing for the next game, playing again. So it'll be great for him to get a wee opportunity to get a lot of the boys on the training ground next couple of weeks. And as I say, hopefully we'll see the fruits of that.
Aye, I think that's one thing that's been the most impressive for myself is I think people didn't realise that. I think they didn't understand that you play on a Sunday, you're resting on the Monday, you're probably a
That's
light
right.
session on the Tuesday, and then you're back at it again
Aye.
Wednesday, Thursday. Do you know what I mean? So like you said, the actual chance of getting on the training pitch and
Yep.
doing heavy sessions is slim to none.
Yep, it's difficult. But as I said, you'd rather that, because that means that we're successful. We're in Europe. We're in the cups, all that type of stuff. So I
Yep.
mean, I'd rather see Hearts playing every Sunday, Thursday, because it means we're playing in European competition, and I think every Hearts fan would be the same. So as I say, it's
100%.
certainly been encouraging the last few weeks.
Aye, that's class. Well, obviously, you'll need no introduction as to your Hearts credentials. I think Kickback have been going on their threads about wanting to hear everybody's proper Heartsman credentials. You've lifted the Scottish Cup, managed the club, won this, beat them 5-1. I don't think we need to go through your credentials. Like,
Nah,
one,
I think the most important thing, William, is I'm a supporter of the club. Ken, that's the most important thing. That's why we all pay into the foundation of Hearts. I'm like every other fan. As much as I've been fortunate enough to have a really good career with Hearts, the most important thing for me is that I'm a fan and I want the club to do well. Whether it's the under nines playing, the women's team playing, the men's team, whatever. I just want to see Hearts do well at everything that we get involved in, and that's the reason I've put my head above the parapet, if you like, to try and help the foundation.
yep. So obviously talk us a bit about the foundation then, and obviously what's your vision for what you hope to bring to it and what you're hoping to achieve while doing it?
For me, mate, it's quite simple. I'm at the club every single day. I've been the ambassador now for a good number of years, so I've kind of got to know a lot of stuff that happens away from the football pitch, not just on the football pitch. I thought that I knew everything about Hearts, but when you go into that side of things, you see the hard work that goes in for getting a game on, for example. You see all the hard work that the staff that nobody knows does behind the scenes. And certainly with the foundation, the last couple of years, obviously we've been the ambassador. I've been heavily involved in quite a number of things that the foundation are doing. And for me, it's so far, I mean, the foundation have been absolutely fantastic for Hearts. And it's how now can we take it to the next level, if you like. And if I can play a part in helping that, I think, bringing everybody together would be probably the biggest thing I could probably achieve, in as much that I know everybody on the Hearts board. I know a lot of people on the foundation board, and if we can get everybody, really pulling in the same direction, then hopefully that'll make a massive difference to both the foundation and the club moving forward.
Do you have like a specific area of the foundation where you think that's where you can make the most impact and have the most value?
Nah, I think just having for me, the foundation, I've had fantastic people that have been on the board for day one, and every single one of them's done a fantastic job, and they've all done different jobs. But for me, they've not really had anybody with the kind of football background that I've got. I've been involved in the top flight for 20, well over 20 years, and I think I could maybe help on that front. As I say, there might be certain questions that fans have been wanting to ask the board, for example, for a long, long time. And maybe because some of the board members have maybe not got the football background that I've got, they might not ask certain questions. So I can hopefully help with that. And I genuinely think as well, we've been unbelievably lucky that so many fans are paying into the foundation every month. But I think it's really important as well that they have a rough idea of where that money goes, what the club use it for, all that type of stuff. So,
Yep.
you know, first of all, you have to just wait and see whether I'm going to get voted onto the board. Obviously, I've got a lot of ideas that I'd like to bring to the table. But first and foremost, we'll wait and see who gets on the board. And, if I get on it, then great. I'll do my best to try and help as much as I can. And if I don't get on it, then, I've still got the attitude that I'll help them as much as I can because I'm in the building every day anyway.
Yep. Obviously, I think one of the big things that folk talk about when it comes to the foundation of Hearts is the communication side of it, and just kind of you just touched on it a wee bit there as well, about a wee bit more transparency or clarity as to like where does the money go. Do you see that as like a big thing that you'd focus on if you did get involved?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, fans have to understand as well. The club obviously is run as a business, run as a football club as well, but the board can't tell the fans every single thing that they do.
Yep.
I think that's clearly obvious, but there is certain things that you do hear a lot of fans talking about in terms of they're giving the club money every single month. What do the club use that money for? Where does it go? And there's a multitude of things that we need that money for. We've got a big academy there. There's a lot of staff. We need a lot of staff in terms of looking after all the teams. The first team, the women's team, the girls' teams, the boys' teams, and that. So, I can certainly say that I'm not prevalent to a lot of the board meetings, so I don't know where all the money goes, even myself. But it does go to help make the club better, that's for sure. And that's what we're striving to do. I think we're a great club in terms of how we're run off the park. But inevitably, all the fans care about is what happens on the pitch on a Saturday or a Thursday or a Wednesday or whenever we're playing. And the investment in the team has been heavy as well. So once I think we can get the manager with his feet under the table, we can start obviously hopefully getting a few wins, and then hopefully we can get back up the league, and the fans will see where all the money goes.
I think that's always been the hardest thing, I think, for the foundation of Hearts to balance, is the fact that when we're doing brilliant, folk they didn't know, they don't care, but it's out of sight, out of mind. They're just happy to
Yeah.
pledge and get on with it.
Uh,
As soon as we start to lose a few games, it's folk are burning their pledges and wanting everybody on the board to tell us why we're playing 4-2-3-1 every other Saturday. It's
yeah.
always hard for and you
Yeah,
see
and I
that from
think
both sides just now, don't you?
that's the reason why we're fan owned, but it can't be fan run. It's like I can go home for a game, meet my brothers, meet my mates, and we'll all have a different opinion on the game. If the club was to be run like that, we wouldn't get anywhere. And I agree with you. When we come away for a game, we've been beat, we've not played that well. Everybody gets really frustrated, and as you say, you get, oh, I'm not paying my money into the foundation. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And I understand that. I'm certainly not implying that if a fan does that, he's not a good Hearts fan, because we all do get frustrated. But certainly in my opinion, I give money to the foundation as much as every other Hearts fan, and I put it in because that money goes towards the club that we all love, we all want to do well, and being a Hearts fan, as you know yourself, it doesn't always go well all the time. But when it does go well, it's special, and I
Yeah.
think that's the sort of message that you can get out to the fans, and we haven't been successful for a number of years. But it is important that changes because, I've been very fortunate. I've been involved with 2 of the 3 cup wins that I've seen. And, it's a fantastic couple of months after it. So it's important that we try and get back to that. And the only way we'll do that, in my opinion, is everybody getting behind the team, everybody pulling in the same direction. And I think that's a massive thing that the foundation can do in terms of trying to encourage fans, new and old fans, to get involved, get behind the club, and hopefully we can strive to go from strength to strength.
Yeah, I think that's a big one that we have right now. Is we've kind of hovered around the same number of pledgers
Yeah.
since day dot. It fluctuates depending on how well we're doing. So how do you see engaging the next generation of fans? How do you think you capture them and get them to start pledging?
Well, I think what we've touched on earlier, being a wee bit more transparent in terms of telling the fans, where their money goes, what the club kind of does with it. I know that you probably can't, as I said to you, you can't tell the supporters absolutely everything, but I think it is important that we can get maybe a wee message out once a month as to, plans, what the club have got moving forward, what the future plans are. And for me as well, I think you've got to start looking at the next generation of fans, the fans from sort of 16 to 25, 26 that are kind of used to seeing the club being okay. We've kind of come out the adverse side where we were in administration, we were struggling. That's why everybody rallied round in the first place. That's why the foundation started. But we are hopefully moving towards better times. So it is when we are in a decent position, you still want fans to be contributing every single month. So you've got fans obviously that live abroad that maybe can't come to the games. How do we engage with them? We've got to look at that. As I say, the younger supporters, families, getting them more involved. And I think if we can do stuff like that as a club and get these types of people more involved and show them the benefits of the Foundation of Hearts and the benefits of the fans putting money in every month, then hopefully all these people will come on board.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of those things that's cyclical in it. I think you can't we can't air our dirty laundry in public, the board are never going to come out and
Yeah,
say X,
yeah,
Y, and Z. But I think if we can see some tangible stuff as to where the money goes to help with this, and I know that like the Maroon Mile's a big thing for
of
that as
course.
well. I
Yeah.
think that's going to be something that could be like the jewel in the crown for the Foundation Arts. It's a big project. Have you been involved in any of that?
Yeah, I've not been involved in it directly, but I know obviously Anne Park and Karen and the staff at Hearts who've all put hours and hours of work in, and obviously with the history of the club, we've got a fantastic history, and it's important that everybody knows about that. And I'm sure, obviously I can't go into too much detail, but some of the things that they've got planned, I think the fans will love. And with that walk, for the Haymarket clock, which Gary Halliday and that's done a fantastic job in terms of getting all that tidied up. It looked absolutely superb at the weekend. And that walk through there to the stadium, I think, will be absolutely fantastic. And I think the fans will really, really enjoy all the stuff that the club has got in place for them to see. As I say, I'm not prevalent to everything, but I know that they have been working really, really hard behind the scenes. Even like the old sign at the back of the Gorgie Road end. That was a memory for me. Obviously, it was a away end at the time, but you always remember that big sign when you were walking into Tynecastle. So bringing things like that back, I think are poignant for everybody. And I think, as I say, the stuff that they've got in place, will be really, really pleasing for the fans moving forward.
Nice. So, say you are successful, you get on the board. Fast forward 3 years, if you're re-elected, what would be a success for you? When would you take a step back and go, my time there was a success? What would that look like?
Yeah, but for me, as I said, I think it's important to get everybody pulling in the same direction. Not that I'm saying that doesn't happen at the moment, but as you say, we've been kind of stuck on around about the 8,000, 8,500 mark for people contributing to the foundation. If I can get onto the board and I look back 3 years from now and there's more pledgers, there's a wee bit more transparency in terms of the message that's coming out for the club to the supporters to tell them kind of what our plans are, where we go moving forward. Obviously, the team being successful on the pitch, because, in terms of like the money coming in, the more money that we can get in, obviously, the more money that could probably get spent on the playing squad, right throughout the club. And for me, it's just about Hearts being successful, mate. That's the most important thing for me. If we are better, if we're in Europe for the next 2-3 seasons, if the women's team are maybe winning the league, we're getting a few youngsters into the first team, both in the girls' academy and the boys' academy, and that money that we're putting in is helping that. For me, I think that would be successful. But the most important thing, as I say, is if I do get involved, I think it's about getting everybody on the same page, moving in the same direction. We will have our ups, we'll have our downs, but it's just about bringing everybody together, I think, and making sure that we're all, swimming in the same sea, if you like, and we can get everybody right behind every single team at the club, and hopefully we can get success in that time as well.
Nice one. Nice one. Right, well, Gary, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. We'll send all the links to how to vote and where to vote. The window to vote is still open. Again, I'm sure Gary will echo the sentiments that, this is what makes this club unique. You've got an opportunity to have your voice heard. You get to vote on who you want to represent you, so use it. Whether you vote for Gary or Diane or anybody else, you've got to use that vote, because there are no other clubs kicking about where you can say that that's happening. So
without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt. And I think it's important as well for me. There is a lot of outstanding candidates put themselves forward. I think it's been the most for a long time. So, whether everybody votes for myself or votes for the other people that have put themselves up, I think it just shows you the strength and depth that we've got in terms of people that are wanting to get involved and the quality of people that want to get involved. And for me, I think that's fantastic. And as I say, the people previous to me that have been involved, they've all done a fantastic job as well. So it's important that we keep that going.
100%, Gary. Well, cheers, man. I thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Hopefully talk to you soon, my man. All right.
Okay, pal. Top man. Right,
cheers, Gary.
All the best.
See you soon, man.
Cheers, mate.